Welcome to my channel, people. So first off, I want to say that I'm going to test out a product. Oh, we got a bee flying around. Product recommendation and review today. So I've got a Pittsburg Harbor Freight headlight restoration kit that we're going to go ahead and we're going to go step by step. If you follow along, you're going to see step by step on how to use it, and you're also going to see the end results. Well, I used to, at my old house, I used to have a bunch of rubbing compound and a buffer and sanding discs and all that stuff to actually do this. I don't have it anymore, and I wanted to actually clean this headlight up because it's the original headlight on this RAV4, and it's all oxidized in the top there, as you can see in the picture when you clicked on this. So we're going to go ahead and go over the contents, and I know there's a million different kits there out on the market. We're going to see how the specific Harbor Freight Pittsburg one that you attach to your drill and use it to buff and clean and compound the headlight up. We're going to see how that works today, so stay tuned. So here we have the contents. I already opened the package, obviously, but here we have the contents. We've got some 500 grit sandpaper, we got some 800 grit, and then we also have 3000 grit. We have our little polishing compound container, polishing compound pad, the drill accessory kit, and we also have tape if you choose to use that to basically mark off your other spots that you don't want touched by that. And of course we got the handy dandy instructions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to follow the instructions. So if you're watching this step by step, the first step in the instructions is to actually clean it with soap and water. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Second part on the Harbor Freight headlight restoration kit is to mask off, obviously, all your paint parts so you don't burn them or scratch them. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that done and we'll move on to the next step. Third step, it tells you to get the disc mounted to your drill. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. If I can get it in there. Fourth step, go ahead and grab your 500 grit abrasive disc and put it on your drill. Simple enough. Okay, so this is, well, step number 6 here, my step number 5, because I didn't include something about keeping the drill unplugged. So keep that in mind. If you get a power drill, obviously use common sense and use it safely. Anyway, next we got number 6 on here and 5 for me. Sand the lens using medium light pressure to remove yellowing surface defects. Sand lens while using a slow and steady back and forth motion. When a disc is clogged or no longer sands effectively, obviously replace it with a new one. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that step done. Okay, so I just had some dinner and I'm coming out to obviously finish the next few steps here and go along with me. So number 6, we're actually going to want to check it after you sand it with the 500 grit disc. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take the camera, and obviously these lights aren't that bad, but it's just something I wanted to get rid of it, because if you look at one of my previous videos, this car was actually in accidents before I owned it. So that's why this headlight is actually kind of crappy looking and the other one isn't, because that one's new. So anyway, we'll take the camera and see what it should look like and make sure all of the imperfections are gone out of the lens, and we'll go on to the next step. So looking up close at it, you can kind of see there's no scratches or pitting or anything. And obviously it's a dull and cloudy look because you use sandpaper on it, which is going to get fixed in the next few steps. And this corner section is actually in great shape, so I didn't even touch it, because it's actually kind of, you kind of take the, you risk actually making this even worse than what it, well, not making it worse, but because it's such a contour, it's just kind of a pain to do. So if it's not bad, just don't touch it, leave it alone pretty much. But there you go. And we'll move on to, I want to say it's going to be step number 6. Okay, so I lied, I meant step number 7. I'm getting them a little mixed up, but it's all in the routine. Anyway, we're going to move on, and you're going to want to take your 500 grit piece off, and you're going to want to put the 800 grit piece on there. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then you're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go ahead And we're going to go ahead and sand this down, basically get it nice and clean, and you're going to basically take what you did with the 800 grit and kind of smooth that off, and then we'll move on to the next step. So let's go ahead and we'll get that done. Step number 8, we're going to take the camera here and I'm going to show you the inspection after the 800 grit paper or disc. And obviously the scratches are going to be less, they're going to be more fine, and we're going to take it and move on to step number 9. So yours should look something similar to this. So step number 9, you're actually going to want to take the 800 off there, and you're going to convert it and put, I already did it, but you're going to go ahead and do it. It's actually bluish color, and it's obviously real fine, and you're going to remove that, put the 3000 grit on there. And it does say here you can actually apply water. If you notice, I did apply some water for the other ones. You can sand these wet or dry, personal preference basically. I didn't actually mention that in there, but either way it's not going to matter. Sanding it with a little bit of water sometimes cleans the disc a little better. If you dip it in the water, it takes the debris off there and kind of extends the life of the sandpaper when you're wet sanding anything. So anyway, it does say using a spray bottle with apply enough water to dampen both the 3000 grit abrasive disc and lens surface before sanding it. 3000 grit abrasive disc can be used flat against the lens, so it's got a little more cushion in here, and it's saying it can be used flat against the lens. There's also in here, it does say extra sanding on this step will make the next step easier to improve the final clarity of the headlight. So that's talking when you go to the 3000. So just keep that in mind. The more effort you put on this one, the more clear or new looking the headlight's going to be. So we'll go ahead and get this part done and move on to the next step. Okay folks, so before we move on here, we're going to take this off and inspect it before we move on to step 10. And after sanding with the 3000 grit, this is what it should look like. It should start to look a little bit clearer, less scratches, and we'll move on to number 10. Okay folks, so moving on to step 10 here, I already got the applicator on there, so you'll see this orange like thing in your package if you have the Harbor Freight Pittsburg Headlight Restoration Kit. And put this baby on here, and it says to use, let's see, it says dispense a dime-sized amount of polishing compound onto the orange foam polishing pad before turning the drill on. Smear the polish with the orange foam polishing pad around the lens. This will reduce the spatter. Too much polishing compound will result in excessive spatter. Added cleanup. Do not run the foam polishing pad dry. So also it doesn't want you to run it dry. I say step 10, but we're moving on. It does also say holding the polishing pad flat on the lens, polish the lens until the cloudy haze is gone and the clarity is significantly improved. If additional clarity is, let's see whereabouts am I here. If additional clarity is needed or desired, add another dime-sized amount of polishing compound and continue. So that's what we're actually going to do. And if you are following along, you're going to obviously be doing the same thing. We're going to move on. We're going to clean this lens up, and we're going to look at the final results. So that's all done. I'm actually going to add a little bonus step, and it's up to you whether or not you want to do this. And I'm going to show you the end result with this new finish. Once your car polish, whether it's wax or a synthetic wax, whatever you want to use to protect it. I'm just going to use this stuff because I have it in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you the final product and how this came out. Now that little bonus step is added, I'm going to take the phone or camera, whatever. Yes, I use my Note 23 Ultra for all my videos. That's all I have. That's all I can afford until I can actually get a professional camera. So definitely help me out by liking and subscribing so I can possibly build my channel. But anyway, I'm going to take the camera off there, or the phone again, and I'm going to show you the end results. Get my finger out of there. So there it is. Woohoo, nice and pretty, right? Clear lights, safe lights at night, bright lights at night. And I'll put a before and after there so you can see the comparison while these weren't that bad. Again, I just want to say good luck on your cleanup if you are watching this video to do it. And I think this product works pretty damn good. And I'm not sponsored by them, so cheers to the Pittsburg Harbor Freight Headlight Restoration Kit. And have a great day, you guys. Thanks for watching.